Welcome back to Easy Breezy. Today, got a Cub Cadet we're going to be doing a head gasket on. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button before this video gets started. Let's get her fixed. Alright, so we're going to start out by taking off the hood. You just kind of got to bring it back and forth a little bit, and she'll come right back up. Set that off to the side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pull this top cover off. Right in here is where we got to go. We're actually going to pull that head off. Got to pull the carb, muffler, everything off of this thing. Alright, so we got some top bolts around the top side here. Just some simple 8mm. Like I need an extension for a couple of them. Alright, so we got an 8mm on here with an extension. Take extension. Here we go. There we go, get that in the tray. Now this cover should lift right off. Oh, that's right, the dipstick does come with it. Let's take that off. Should be able to just kind of push that gas tank back a little bit and it'll pop right off. Put that dipstick right back in so we don't get any crap in there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take off this air cleaner here, just these two wing nuts. Filter looks decent. I think that's we can reuse that filter there. And we have a foam filter here. Looks like she's soaked up a little bit of oil. Gonna have to figure out where that's coming from. And then we got, I believe there are two 10mm here, and this whole cover here will come off. There's one nut. There's two. And then we can just kind of pull that right out of the head here. So now too, this carburetor should, oh no, they actually bolt these carburetors down, these ones. So generally they usually slide off. Oh yeah, they do. There's a little bolt here, but I think that's a ground for the fuel shutoff solenoid. So we don't really need to take the carb off, because what we're going to do is we're going to unbolt this head, bring it forward enough to get the gasket out of there, clean it up so we can put it all back together. I think next step we're going to do is we're going to take this valve cover off and see what bolts are under there. I think there's only 6 to 8 bolts in this head, but I guess we'll see when we get in there. Alright, so let's get this valve cover off. I'm going to take this front shield off. Should just slide right out of here. Well, it slides down enough where we can get that off. That's all we need. Try to be very gingerly as you're taking this out. Oh, we actually still got 2 more bolts. Might actually need to go get a 3/8. All right, so we're just gonna use a 1/4-inch ratchet. See if we can crack her loose. Oh, that one came. You know the old saying is about the 10mm, can never find it when you need it? Well, for me, it's the 3/8. Long reach is usually what, instead of a 10. Well, hopefully we didn't break that bolt. I'm gonna run it in just a little bit too. Yeah, we didn't break it, that's good. Right, now this should just, what we're going to do is we're going to get this muffler off here too. That's just 2, I believe, Allen heads. Yep. Oh no, Torx. So that's just 2 Torx, and then that muffler should come right off because we unbolted it off of the valve cover. So the exhaust bolts are a T40. You guys can see that. There's T40 Torx. Boy, that exhaust wasn't very tight. Oh, now this whole front end stuff, everything up front should just slide right. Now I actually just threw 2 bolts back into the valve cover. I want to test something real quick just because that muffler was loose. I mean, it wasn't horribly loose, but I want to make sure that the air that was coming out of there was not just from the exhaust, that it was actually a truly blown head gasket. This motor runs very well for having a blown head gasket, so I just want to make sure. We're going to throw the nuts back on the carburetor, and we're going to fire it up and see what she does. All right, I'm going to back you guys up. We'll get it started up. Hopefully we don't have to pull that head gasket out. That'd be great. Let's set that parking brake so we don't have to worry about that. Still do have a blown head gasket there. All right, so let's get those back out of there again. Reason we put those in there is so that when it's running, oil's not squirting out. All right, so it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts. Looks like they're going to be probably a 14 millimeter. Nope, looks like it's actually going to be a 1/2 inch. Now when we pull this head off, we should actually see right where the head gasket is blown. Let's see here. Now I'm going to pull a couple of these out, see if they're all the same length. And it does look like they are all the same length, so we should be just fine to take them all out, because they don't go in any particular order. So it actually looks like there might be a washer on this one here. There we go. So there is a washer on this bottom corner here. We got to watch that when we put it back together. Oop. So I'm going to set these on top of the motor on which side they go. Just like that. Then we can kind of slide this out a little bit. Wow, it's a big head gasket here. Let me go get a scraper and we'll kind of just carefully take that off. Right now my scraper's got a little bit of garbage on it, so I'm just going to use a clean screwdriver. Just very carefully. Because if I could just copper coat this head gasket, which a lot of head gaskets you can just copper coat them and you won't ever have an issue. Oh, you can see right here where it was blown out. That's a pretty big grooving right there. So I don't think we're going to be able to copper coat this. So what I'm going to do is get another head gasket, get it all copper coated, and we'll get her back together. Alright, so we got another used head gasket. This one's actually still pretty good. It's going to work. We love to use copper coat, whether it be on new or used head gaskets. The reason I am not changing this head gasket is right now they are about 2 to 3 weeks out on just getting this head gasket, and you know what, I just don't want to wait that long. So what we're going to do is we're going to copper coat it real good, give it a good coat, get it put on there, let her cure a little bit, and then get her tightened down. Alright, so I know a lot of people are not going to be happy with how I'm necessarily doing this. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I do the same thing in my own mowers and don't have any issues. One thing we can do, since the head is loose and it will slide, we can actually put these in their spots. Make sure they're actually in the lifters correctly. There we go. That way we don't have to adjust anything. Oop, we did miss on this one. There we go. I'm going to run that down just snug on the top. All right, so that's just snug there. Let's get the rest of the bolts in. And remember, this bottom corner one had a washer on it. Now I am going to torque these down. I'm just going to get them running a little bit with the gun, but we're not going to put any tension on them with the gun, if that makes any sense. So we're going to back that out just a little bit. We want to be able to torque them. Go. All right, let's go get the torque wrench. All right, so what we're looking at first is running 15 foot-pounds of torque. Now you want to jump sides. And you want to do it in 2 increments too. So we start out with the 15, do all of them, and then we go to 30 foot-pounds. And then we go a 1/4 inch beyond 30. All right, so now we go up to 30. There's 30. Now usually what I like to do after I torque them down is go back and just kind of double check it, make sure they're all at 30. Because the head will seat more as the bolts get tighter, so. Okay, so the first one we did is at 30. So that's good. So what we'll do now is just give it a little bit more of a turn. And there we go. We got her tight. All right, so I let that sit up for a little while now. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna throw some copper coat on the gasket here. That way it seals. And we'll get everything bolted together and see how she does. Well, now that I was stupid and put the muffler on without putting this on, we're gonna have to kind of just work it in there, which I should be able to get her in there just fine. There we go. There we go. Got that in there. Let's get the muffler bolts tightened up. All right, we got that all tightened up. Now we can continue just putting the rest together. All right, so we're going to be putting a new plug in it. It's going to be a torch plug, and it's going to be K5RTC. This is the plug for it. So let's get our ratchet so we can get that one out. Gonna have to put an extension on it. All right, we got it loose. Oh yeah, that one definitely needed to be changed. And these are a pre-gapped plug. Go. Let's get our vacuum line back in here, or breather line. Some people call it other things. So, all right. I think what we're going to do right now is we're going to start it up, see if that head gasket leaks. Sounds like she's running good. All right, well there you guys have it. We got the Cub Cadet finished. I just got to do a tune up to it and get it ready for sale. Get it cleaned up, get it ready for sale. This is a Cub Cadet LTX 1042. It has the SV590S Kohler Courage 19 on it. So if you guys have to do this job yourself and you have that motor, as you can see, it is not something that's very hard to do. If you guys like this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. Helps out the channel a lot. You know, share it around. That's how our channel grows, and you know, you guys helped it to get to 100 subscribers. I think we're at about 120 now. It's great, you guys. We are going to be coming back with the V8 Craftsman here soon. I just got word that they got the motor pulled, and yeah, I guess we'll get onto that tractor again. It's going to be a fun build. And then we also have that John Deere STX38 we're building for a customer to drive on the road. I'm just really waiting on lights to get in for that. And you guys will see that in an upcoming video also. And then again, we're going to have some you know, short videos coming up. Just some real quick get running kind of videos.
So again, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and you guys stay out of trouble, even though it ain't always fun. And you guys have a good one.